Disabled senior recounting a night as an Uber Eats driver that ended in violence.
That is correct, Kaylee. That driver actually coming to this IHOP right here behind me to pick up a food delivery order for one of their customers. That's when Phoenix police say 3 suspects approached them with a gun, demanding they give up the car. A fight broke out and the driver seriously injured in that attack, but still the 3 suspects, 2 men and a woman, got away in that driver's car.
A teenager was sentenced to 45 years in prison for killing a mother as she delivered food.
A carjacking that left a delivery driver there dead.
Suspected gang members in custody tonight in connection with the gruesome murder of an Uber Eats driver.
What is Uber's response to all of this? How are they keeping drivers safe? New safety features? Nope. How about total transparency prior to accepting the order? Also nope. In fact, Uber's response to vicious attacks, carjackings, and driver fatalities has been to reintroduce one of their most vile policies ever. No transparency whatsoever. What's going on, everybody? I'm Zach Drives Fast for the Rideshare Guy. And in this video, we're going to talk about Uber hiding pickup and drop-off information from drivers. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to tell you how to get near total transparency on Uber Eats. If you haven't seen this in your market yet, consider yourself lucky. This happens when Uber feels that your acceptance rate is too low, and the only way to get the information back is to accept 7 out of 10 of the orders that you're sent. Or at least Uber wants you to think that's the only way to get the information back. If you haven't seen this change in your market yet, don't assume you're off the hook, because it wasn't in my market at first either. In fact, for a while, I was starting to breathe easy about this because Uber started walking it back market by market. So I assumed that they had seen the error in their ways, but then all of a sudden, it was back, including in my market. So, to recap, they had reversed course and slowly started showing the pickup and drop-off information again. However, in certain markets, they're back to hiding pertinent information. We've been seeing more and more stories of drivers getting robbed, attacked, carjacked, or worse. Sadly, the reality is that could be any one of us. And for some reason, Uber feels like it's acceptable to hide where we're picking up and where we're dropping off. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I like to think that I have extensive market knowledge. However, if you start hiding information from me, then I'm no more efficient than a brand new driver. With this new offer screen, Uber is essentially asking you to gamble. Is $8 worth it for an order going 2 miles if it's ready when you walk through the door? Maybe, depending on the day of the week. But that order sure wouldn't be worth it if you had to wait 30 minutes for it. What if that order took you into the worst parts of your town? Is it still worth it? Before we get into how to solve this problem, I'd like to give you a few scenarios on how this could affect you. Look, we have all seen the headlines, but Uber hiding this kind of information puts more than just our safety at risk. It also puts our money at risk. Let's talk about those scenarios. Let's say that there's a restaurant in your market that has adequate staffing during dinner hours, but you know that during lunch they're always understaffed. Well, you can make a killing at that restaurant during dinner. You know to avoid it during lunch because of their staffing issues. Let's take a look at an offer where Uber hides information from the driver. You see the problem? The pickup restaurant's missing. You're accepting these orders blindly, hoping that you pick up at a fast restaurant. Personally, I'd rather accept an order paying $2 less at a fast restaurant than $2 more at a slow one. Time is money, and we don't want to be waiting for lollygagging staff. Furthermore, most of us have restaurants that we absolutely refuse to go to. In my market, I have a few that I won't walk into regardless of how much they're trying to pay me. My sanity is worth more than they will ever offer to pay me. However, due to the lack of information, your options are to either suck it up or to take a hit on your completion rate. Another scenario might be if you accept an order blindly and get lucky with your pickup, but not so lucky with your drop-off. In fact, this scenario could go in so many different ways, but we're only going to talk about a couple of them. I don't deliver to apartments or condos downtown unless those are the highest paying offers that I've seen in months. Typically, the orders in my market do not pay enough for me to drive downtown, find and pay for parking, and then wait to get buzzed into a secure building. The university and dorms are another perfect example. That area is like its own little city. Those orders are almost always way more hassle than they're worth. Not to mention, there's certain areas of my city that I know to avoid at certain times of the day. For example, school zones, construction, or just general heavy traffic. Again, an order paying a few bucks more doesn't do you any good if you get stuck in traffic for 20 minutes. The final example that I want to give you before we get into how to fix this is ending up in a bad part of town. This is probably the most important one. Companies like DoorDash and Uber Eats put themselves in as many markets as they can, and this does include areas with a high crime rate. They don't care if they hide information from you at 1 o'clock in the morning on a Friday and then lead you into a crime-ridden part of your market. There's parts of my market that I don't even want to be in during the day as a 6-foot-something stocky male. So, of course, I find it completely unacceptable that companies like Uber Eats are willing to send drivers into a potentially dangerous situation without all of the information up front. There's an area in my market with a high crime rate where the GPS is often wrong and the cell service is almost non-existent. If I get into trouble there, my options are extremely limited. I'm not the one. Okay, that is a lot of doom and gloom, so let's fix it. Before I give you the solution to this problem, I do need to give you a disclaimer. What I'm about to share with you does violate Uber Eats terms of service. Neither me nor the rideshare guy take any responsibility for what you choose to do with this information. Having said that, I've used the app we're about to talk about over the last 2 years religiously, and I've never had a problem. And I know countless other drivers who use it as well without incident. You can download an app called Para. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I am affiliated with the Para team. However, that's on my channel and not on RSG. Neither I or the rideshare guy are being compensated for me talking about it in this video. For those of you who may be unaware of what Para is, it's an app that aims to give drivers the transparency that we wish the gig apps would give us to begin with. In fact, they've survived 2 cease and desists from DoorDash, and they're still here fighting for transparency for drivers. In essence, they are what we want the gig companies to be. Now, this video is not a tutorial on how to use the app. That said, it's not particularly a hard app to figure out. Once you download and install it, you will need to link your Uber Eats account. Once you do that, Para will show you the pickup location as well as the full delivery address. In the event of doubles, you'll see both pickups and drop-offs in their entirety. It's also worth mentioning, at the time of filming this video, Para is free. Being as that this is not a sponsored video, there will not be a link in the pinned comment or the description. Having said that, you can easily find it on Android or iOS. Now, if you're not comfortable using Para and you get a bad offer, there is one more option for you, albeit nowhere near as convenient. I want to preface this by saying we are not employees of these companies, and one of the biggest mistakes that drivers make is approaching gig work with an employee mentality. We're contractors, and we have the right to say no at any point of the delivery if we have a concern about our safety or money. In the event that Uber hid information from you and you're being asked to pick up at a bad restaurant, or even worse, they're trying to take you into an area that's known to be dangerous, do not do it. Get on the phone and call support and tell them that the food will be waiting at the restaurant and you need to be unassigned. Note the wording there. I said tell them, not ask them. You can tell support, due to them hiding information from you, that you are unwilling to complete the job due to safety concerns. Driver support is just that. Support. They are there to support us, not tell us what to do. Now, this option is far less ideal, and you likely will take a hit on your completion rate. But if that's the difference between you getting home safe that night and not, make that phone call to support. I want you to think about this for a moment. In any other line of work, a general contractor is going to be given all of the information up front. So why are we the exception? The lack of transparency affects not only our income, but could potentially put our lives at risk. To me, it seems that these companies would rather settle a couple of wrongful death lawsuits than do the right thing to begin with. I am so tired of seeing news clips like what you saw in the beginning of this video. We might just be a number to Uber, but damn it, we're human beings. We have families and lives and people who love and depend on us. And the companies feel that this is the time to give us less information? We live in an increasingly volatile and dangerous time, and we deserve all of the relevant information that they have prior to accepting the order. No more of these hide-and-seek games that they try to get us to play just to get orders delivered. In my opinion, lives should always trump profits. If you haven't done so yet, please do consider pressing the like button and subscribing to the Rideshare Guy. You can catch my videos here every Tuesday. If this video resonated with you, check out this video where I talk about tip baiting and teach you how to get your money back. I'm Zach Drives Fast for the Rideshare Guy. Take care.